We're back.
Studio is a little bit more professionalized this time. We're in the Trilogy studio. We're workshopping some names here. If you have a good suggestion for this, we want to hear it.
You like Office Talk?
Office Talk, Trilogy Office Talk. We did the Trilogy Lacrosse Theater. This could be
the
a continuation of the Trilogy.
Office Talk reminds me of Coffee Talk. You know, like the SNL skit with Dan Carvey.
Yeah, I think, but the thing is, that is kind of like.
But then I would want coffee.
But this is also kind
of.
This is our Office Talk to a degree, right? We're just taking some things we talk about in the office and bring them live. We have talked about the World Lacrosse Box Championships. We've talked about the PLL Championships.
Yep.
Talked about the USA Lacrosse Experience, and now we've reached the fall doldrums of at least the elite level, but that doesn't mean there's not a lot of lacrosse being played. This is kind of, now we're getting into actual, we've run tournaments last weekend, we've got one this weekend, the Autumn Drop for the girls, NorCal Ascent out in California, and then we've got our big Veterans Day Classic in a few weeks. But we thought we'd dive into the thing.
You're mentioning a lot of events, like we're going to turn this around that quickly.
Yeah, no, we're probably not going to be able to go right away, but we are going to look at Trilogy events. We're going to look at the stuff that we know best.
We're looking at you.
Players, events that we ran, teams that we coached, looking at the people we know, and we want to talk about lacrosse, which we also seem to know a little bit about, and break down some plays that we saw. We'll start with this summer, I think Trilogy 24.
Okay, good place to start.
What do you remember most about the Trilogy 24?
You losing in overtime?
Yeah,
in the championship.
That was a tough one. Was it overtime or was it regulation?
Oh, no,
it was regulation.
It wasn't a totally soul crushing defeat.
Yeah.
Just like mostly body crushing.
Yeah, that was a tough one too. We ran out of time. It wasn't even like we just ran out of time and we didn't know how much time we had, and then it was over. That
was the way the tournament ended. Then we drove home together. So that sticks.
Yeah. But in a nice moment of forethought, we had a giant foot-long Jersey Mike sub on the ride home. That made the pain a little less sharp. But we're looking at the Trilogy 24 tournament, Conshohocken, Pennsylvania, about 100 teams, all high school. And so today we're looking at some clips from the event, some teams that we thought stood out, some things that we thought maybe...
Some highlights.
And some
rooms
for improvement.
Cool, okay.
Medium lights. Lights.
We have lights.
So we're going to start off here. We've got a nice little play here by Delco Lacrosse.
Yep.
Where are they out of, Ryan? You like to talk to the Delco folks?
Delco. They're out of Delco.
Delaware County, right?
Yeah.
That's Delco. Delaware County, Pennsylvania. Some stars from Delco County.
Do you say Delaware County or do you just say Delco?
Well, Delco's a club, but
I know you just
who's Delco?
But you just
Kyle Sweeney's Delco guy, right?
Don't you just say like Del? Like, should we call Sweeney? Like, where are you from? Wouldn't you just say Delco?
Yeah, we should definitely text him.
Okay. Yeah, so I like this action. If you freeze it right here, so you got this pass down, pick down, kind of two-man action. I want you to pay attention on the backside. So you're gonna get this guy top middle, right? He's gonna clear through and create space for the sweep. Now focus on the guy on this opposite high wing. Watch it. What he's gonna do is he's gonna kind of cheat up. You think it's a two-man cycle, right? And he starts to do that. And then he realizes, wait a second, if I keep going, I'm going to just absolutely destroy the space for the sweep. So he freezes, he kind of catches himself, and then backpedals, and that allows the space to continue to turn the corner for this heavy, meaty outside shot. But see the top guy, you're going to see that will clear through. You think it's a two-man exchange, and then that will come up, and then, maybe a second, I need to backpedal. So
two or three steps back, it's amazing. You see... The defense is working through that backside pick, and as he backs up, that defender actually even turns his back to the action, which is where the shot comes from, and so he can't really support it all because they're kind of sorting through, is that just an exchange? And like you said, they engage that whole backside.
So don't love the spacing on the interior. That's a little nitpicky. Obviously, defensively, KYP, you cannot go under on this lefty right here who's just got an absolute hammer. Once you go under there, you're done. Right? You're done.
Or if you're going to go under there, you got to get hard check. As soon as you get under that pick, you got to get a hard check on the hands, and then you got to lift as hard as you can so he can't get his hands free. But realistically, like you said, I don't know if there was anyone that was really going to impact that because he was sweeping across full speed. He had a full head of steam. He's coming right across the goal mouth, which gets the goalie moving a little bit too.
You credit the crease attackman for kind of staying engaged, right? But you got to go there, right? You've got a clear slide from the crease, tough angle from there as opposed to going adjacent across the field. But what you can see right there is a clear opportunity to get that double team in, and I think you'd actually be fine spatially with your two defenders against those three offensive players on the backside, especially with the guy X being so deep that third defender on the backside kind of drifts in. You gotta go here if you're the crease man.
What do you think about this? The top side defensive midfielder. He's kind of shuffling down, the guy who clears through. What do you think about sliding off him or at least showing off him?
I think
because you talked about that spacing inside. Everyone's kind of jammed up inside, right? You're covered up inside with two defenders. That topside midi, if he talks through that and just switches, right? It's not technically a switch.
That's a tough switch.
But can he then show and at least get a piece? Because the crease guy, he's so deep. I think you're still sliding to a guy who's running away from you.
Fair.
I like a show from that backside the high top midi. At least just show, right? Just step in and show. I guess the one danger you risk is your guy clearing through, just posting up in the back door. But you've got that defenseman.
Right now, that crease defenseman, he's not covering anybody.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying go.
Yeah, I mean,
because there's I don't know who he is responsible for right now. So I think once that clear through happens, that I get it normally in the hedge. This is the other tough thing about Club Cross. This is probably the first time that they've seen the set, right? From this team. So it's not like they've got a scout, like, okay, this is how we're going to handle, this specific set, right?
They don't know that lefty attackman can shoot from 18. They don't know that's his range.
Right. So this is where I think you've got a crease guy, right? We're going right now.
Yeah. He comes before he turns that top side. You can then support from the backside to the inside. But I still think that top D midi could probably hedge in, communicate on the backside. But I think either of those two things would have alleviated a little of that pressure. But let's be honest, that shot was going in no matter where he shot.
Let's show the highlight now. I mean, not a lot there that we haven't really covered in the macro shot. A good little hesitation there.
Yeah.
Kind of going into the two-man game. That brief little hesitation, that change of speed, the on-ball defender kind of freezes with it for a moment, and then by the time he catches up, hands are free and forget about it.
Well, you know what I also like about the hesitation? That gives the picker a little bit of time to adjust his position.
Yeah.
Because you see he does it before the pick happens, and that gives him an extra step to come over the top of that with a full head of steam.
Yeah. Absolutely no hedge position on the off-ball. But he did give space for the defender to get free. He did.
He was basically like, good luck. He's like, I got my man. You take him. You got this.
You're good to get through.
You got the lefty hammer, right?
We're fine.
He'll be good.
Amazing. Okay. Where to next, Brotherhood? We're going to New Jersey, or are we heading down to Maryland?
Let's go to New Jersey.
Okay.
From Delaware County to Bergen County.
Brotherhood gang, led by Kyle Ojakian.
This one, tough. Another summer ball. We got white jersey versus white jersey.
Just bring a reversible.
I think you got to bring the
reversible. Just in case.
Maybe shirts and skins. You got shirts and skins.
No, because you need the number, but just bring a reversible, just in case.
So we've got Brotherhood and we've got True Mid-Atlantic in the white and
white on white
also in the white.
That's right. So we're gonna have to really get detail oriented.
I love the intensity of this dodge. This is a dodge to score, not to set up a play right here.
That one or this one?
That initial one.
Yeah. Well, there wasn't a lot of ball movement. I like this little up pick, kind of into a slip, and then whoop, see you later.
When you say don't chase the trail check, this is about as chasing of the trail check as you can get. I think the initial action on defense, not bad. You get him going down the alley, you're on his back shoulder.
Let him go that way.
He starts to roll back. I actually think even on the rollback, he does a good job of forcing him back down the alley. he gets just a little bit of a step and then panic.
Just drive.
Panic ensues. This is where you have to trust a low angle shot.
Yes.
Or a slide is coming.
Yes.
And just take your chances there. But as soon as he goes for that huge stick check, just a nice job of the Brotherhood attacking to tuck that underneath and then carve to the inside. Now, I said you got to trust the slide is coming. There is no slide ready.
No.
There's not a slide ready to go.
No, that initial little clear through and kind of half up pick, kind of half shallow cut. I mean, the slide really, it's if you go back, I think you have to come from the guy at X here.
Well,
you get a little crease, or the crease of it. Yeah.
There is a guy who's ready to slide. He shows, and as he goes to get back, his man back cuts him. So he goes to show, and then his man back cuts him, so he loses him. And at this point, he's trying to find his man.
I think the credit here goes to the on-ball dodger, right? I think you look at the creativity, the deception, right? This little kind of like, and whoop, that little rocker, that little kind of hesitation and rocker step. And then credit, he dangles a little bit. He gives him a little.
Just enough.
Here's a little
sniff of it.
Yeah, like, you want it? Here it is. Do you want to take this little piece of bait? Do you want to take it? Yeah. And then yanks it.
And I that cutter through the middle, really, I think that's what opens up. So we have that crease man. He's kind of just posted up. He fades off the backside. Then he cuts hard right off his defender's back. So as his defender's looking, instead of sliding, his defender's looking for him. That opens up that inside lane, and he goes hard and no contact at all.
And when you think of deception when dodging, right, you think of all these different elements. And I think the one thing that doesn't get talked about a lot, especially at this level, right, is the ability to bait your defender by giving him a little bit of that cheese, right, a little bit of that mouse trap, like that little meat on the bone, that little piece of candy where it's like, here it is, do you want to take it? And like, if you're not as athletic as your defender, like, you can use a little bit of like showing some stick to try to get them out of position because they think like, oh, I've got to be aggressive here, I can cause a turnover, and then like you just pull it and you're gone.
Well, to your point, especially, that's a game planning thing. Late in the game, you're up by a goal or two. That's when that defender's like, oh, I got to get this. But instead of just playing that sound defense in the first half, maybe there's a second half of a running time game. It's like, I need that ball. That's when you give them the little cheese out there, and then you snap it shut.
You want to see the highlight on this one?
Let's see the highlight. Let's see that rollback. The rollback hand switch.
The rollback. Oh, you know what I love about this clip? Watch the first time. Watch the goal, and then tell me if you notice anything after the goal. Oh, after this one. My favorite.
I saw this when I first watched this. The reach over the
teammate
helmet.
celebration.
Yes. Oh yeah, top five, high five.
Love this.
Over the head.
Like we did a lot on that play. It was like a total 1-on-1 goal, and then I love the two guys afterwards that are like, yeah, that's right. Like, good job, right? But yes.
Go us.
I love that. All right, HLC Gunpowder?
Let's go ice. Let's go to the ice goal. This is your team. Your squad, the 2028 Ice Squad.
So,
who are some standouts here?
Yeah, I mean, I drew this up so you can, I can walk you through. So, you're going to get a little on-ball two-man game, high wing dodge off the right wing, right? An on-ball two-man game, opportunity to pick, slip, or just a mirror.
By the way, that pass. That's a clear definition of passing where the guy's supposed to be. Yeah. Like, it's like, get up there. Instead of telling the guy to get up there, he just throws the ball where the guy should be.
Freeze it right here. So you're going to get this other midi. He's going to drift down, and then you're going to get an exchange between the crease player and the backside guy. So what we're trying to do is create some confusion on that slide responsibility by exchanging the crease player with the guy in the backside corner. And then by getting that high right wing, this on-ball two-man game, the ball carrier has the opportunity to either sweep across or go down the alley. So he's going to sweep across, and actually two guys are going to kind of hedge to him. So you freeze it right about here. You've already got kind of two hedges. So he could put right there, perfect. So he could push it forward, right? Or he could throw back.
Who's this on this side?
That's Cooper.
Cooper, if he could have been left-handed too, that's even more of a threat, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, that'd be
Cooper, be left-handed next time.
Yeah, sure. I mean, sure. Cooper could bury that right-handed. But anyway, so you get this hedge, you get this backside exchange. They actually didn't come from the crease. They went from both the wings, right? They went from both the wings. You could have pushed or throw back. They get a rotation. The guy in the low right crease is actually wide open right now, wide open. But because of that ball pressure, Austin elects to catch this and a little hitch and top step. Great play. And then he draws another slide. That guy actually does come from the crease. So it's an easy little follow the slide by Bragan. Simple exchange here. Great feed by Austin, able to get his hands free, kind of catch and finish here. But you can see good spacing, relatively speaking, kind of all the way throughout, and then the ability to exploit slides regardless of kind of which direction they come from.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the slides.
Yeah.
Because I think, to your point, I think it feels like an open set. It's not completely open. There's a crease guy, but it feels like it's like spread way out. So as that crease vacates, maybe you have some communication saying, hey, let's go adjacent, is what I'm thinking.
Or you just switch that exchange.
But I'm saying, I think getting into the minds of the defenders, right? I think they're saying, all right, crease is off. Let's go adjacent. Right? So they dodge here. So you've got your righty adjacent on the right side.
Because that crease defender kind of he drifts with them. They stay with their men
so there. So from the goalie's perspective, who's hopefully calling out the call, he's saying there's no crease, go adjacent. So they show from both sides, to your point, not a bad idea to pinch in. But the issue arises, they do move the ball, and then they try to recover and they slide again adjacent. So again, you've got three players attack the ball on the first dodge, and then two players attack the ball, and then as he top steps, you get a third player. So in both situations, you get a third player sliding up, and then this is just a great heads up. It's Austin. It was Austin that made this play. Great heads up play. He recognizes that slide, and it's just like almost like a little lever pass or a dump pass to the inside. And Bragan Palace, he didn't do a ton. He didn't move a lot, but he found that soft spot. He kind of creeped in there, hung on the top of that crease, catches it, and then I like how he takes two more steps, which makes it hard for that backside defender, who maybe would have been the only one who could have helped, right? Is that backside defender who's trying to come across.
He gets there, it's just a hair late. He gets there. He just needs to, if he's there like a half second, earlier and with force, then it's kind of a different story.
Right. He probably needs to go earlier in this whole set because they had gone adjacent, they had slid up. He probably should have fired across. But this is an example of just, you got to have everyone move together at the same time. Otherwise, you have these small little breakdowns, and that's a great job capitalizing by, just a well drawn up play. That's what we got to hang our hat on here. It's just a guy in the back room drawing it up, scrolling it up, ready to go.
It's about the Jims and Joes, not the X's and O's.
Oh, all right.
Isn't that a line?
Jimmy and Joe's.
Oh, Jimmy and Joe's?
Jimmy John's.
Yeah, and then you see terrible X's and O's, and everyone's like, why can't we score? It's like, these X's and O's are pretty brutal.
Jimmy and Joe have no idea where to go.
All right. This
HLC Gunpowder.
Let's start with the tight shot, actually. Let's start.
Okay.
Does that mean you have to download stuff?
No, I'm ready.
Let's start with the tight shot, because this is, you look at this, and this is a highlight reel. I mean, this is an around the world, gem, right? This is something true highlight. Catching this on the move, low angle,
viral. This is a viral.
Thank you. I'm like searching for the words here. Boom, catches it, no angle, around the world, buries it.
No look around the world. Too. Keeps his head forward, just eyes straight, cold.
And
ice cold.
And then within this, though, so everyone's like, viral play, highlight. Within this, though, when you go big picture, what you realize is two things. Two kind of fundamental things. Number one, old school kind of give and go. And then number two is he has no angle. So it's because he can't get back to his left hand because potentially a fear of a trail check. It's like you're either going Lyle Thompson shovel shot, right? Or you're going I guess no one has trademarked the around the world. So, or the around the world, right? So like he did
Tom
that.
Marechek, I think Tom Marechek probably, that's throwing it back past our audience, but.
Yeah. They're not gonna get that.
Look him up.
They're not gonna get that.
Look them up, kids. Yeah. Next film room, we'll break down Tom Marechek around the world.
So it's actually a smart IQ play by going to the around the world, which is my point.
And I think what I like, this is like clearly a set piece too. This isn't just like a, hey, this happened in transition. This is a really nicely designed play. It's like almost like a 1-4, but they have the wing rotated in. So it's almost like a 1-4-1, but there's 3 guys in the crease.
Yeah.
Which at first seems a little weird, but you create all that space to the right. You see this,
like
what normally would be a wingman, almost like he's going back out to the wing, but then he stops and he actually seals the top crease guy who's supposed to be the slider. And that seal creates some confusion. And so the bottom crease guy's like, oh, I better slide. I got to go to this. And he slides, and
you get the recovery, Rico, on-ball defender goes back.
I think it was a great slide. I think the slide, they talk through it up top. The first guy gets picked off. The bottom guy realizes, okay, I'm the hot guy. It's a great slide. You get him moving away from the goal. He's looking to feed. He's not a threat. But to your point, it's all about talk in this situation. You got to tell the on-ball defender, Rico, look away, find one. Any term you use.
He does. It's the ball watch after the play.
He does.
I'm fine with this recovery.
But look how many more steps he took. You need to get him off that 3 steps earlier. As soon as he's in good position here, it should be off. And that guy, he covers up the inside, and then there's no confusion. But to your point,
it's the ball watch.
Your point, he takes an extra 15 steps, right? Once that guy's running towards the corner, let him go. That's the hardest thing, I think, on defense. It's like, if you've got a guy where you want him to go or going that direction, don't keep going. Just let him go there, especially when he's throwing the ball. Like if he had just recovered, dropped in, that play never happens. But he keeps going, and he looks at the ball and just kind of does the old hockey. Instead of a hockey stop, he does the big turn.
You just can't. Once that pass is made, there's no advantage gained by watching the ball get completed to X.
No.
You have to just stay.
First step.
You get your job.
Step to the inside.
Yeah.
Stick to the inside. And then in. That's every time the ball moves. Step to the inside. And that's one thing I think when I watch highlight tape of players. It's like if I see a kid play on-ball defense, ball moves, and he immediately gets a stick to the inside, takes a step, I'm like, that's a well-coached defenseman. That's something I think defenders take away from this is after your man moves the ball, 1 step to the inside, stick to the inside, find that ball, and then you're already helping out on your interior.
And credit the offensive player here for HLC Gunpowder. Once he sees the back of the defender's head,
he's gone. I'm
gone.
It was almost like
as soon as he throws it, he knows.
He sees how far that defender is stretched, right? He's like, why is he still whacking me? Oh, see ya.
Yeah.
That is pulling the string, and I love the confidence of that X-Man to throw that, right? And he sees as he catches that, he sees, okay, he's going, and he throws that maybe a little behind him.
Yeah.
But he allows for his buddy to go viral.
Well, yeah, and in some cases when you're at X catching this, right? I mean, he looks the opposite way, and then he's like, wait, you're open? Right, like sometimes you're like, you're not supposed to be open. Like, what happened?
Where'd your defender go?
Right, because he catches this, and immediately, as you're supposed to, like you catch and you look right backside. Right, you're trying to transfer. Right, we drew a slide, catch. Let's transfer to the other side. So and then I think he like out of the corner of his eye, he's like, wait a second. What in the Sam Hill's going on here? And then that's when he goes back for the give and go.
The other thing that I think makes this possible is all of the other offensive players, they stay high. They don't collapse down. Watch the middies in the crease. They stay nice and high. You see him even backing up. That opens up that underneath space for that give and go. If they had cut hard to the ball, they would have clamped up that middle. All right, well, there we have it. Until the next big lacrosse event, we will be looking at your videos. So if you got something from fall ball, send it our way.